one of the things you told me about, and you and I both love the idea of shaking things up and changing how we do things. You'd mentioned to me things around changing things from like rings to, say, watches and stuff like that. What are some of the other things you love the idea of shaking up when it comes to a wedding?
So I tend to treat, or offer to treat, the wedding space as a wedding space rather than separate chairs on each side with a thing called an aisle running down the middle, where someone is handed over traditionally in straight weddings as
property,
a piece of property,
yeah,
from one male to another for life. So we talk about the possibility of either standing at the front, yeah, and having mingled with your guests beforehand, and suddenly the ceremony just begins.
Yeah.
Or coming around, if there are chairs, get rid of the aisle, but perhaps come around with your parents or someone who's really important to you, mm-hmm, with you, and go around the side and meet in the middle. Oh, wow. So it's a different way of looking at the space, or, yeah, doing the wedding in the rounds, so surrounded by your guests in concentric circles.
That's nice.
The one that you mentioned about the exchange of the ring, it's become a bit of a thing in America for gay men in particular to swap a Rolex or a Tag Heuer, because you're going to look at that
I wouldn't mind
pretty
that.
often if it's a Rolex. And of course, remember that person is, who gave me that, or that person, yeah, exchange that with me on our wedding day.
To be a bit more inconspicuous as well.
Yeah.
If there's folks who don't feel that need to be completely out, that's a lovely way of doing it.
That is, yeah. Another tradition of a typical straight wedding is, of course, slicing the wedding cake.
Yeah.
So we've had the 6-tier rainbow cake with every colour of the rainbow inside, through to people who question whether we need to have a wedding cake because it denotes fertility.
Maybe I'll just get like a wedding piñata or something, just for the hell of it.
That's it.
Fill it with lollies, with the kids running around.
That's it. So all sorts of traditions, yeah, being questioned and thrown away. Get rid of the, spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on flowers and sink that money particularly into food and beverages, mm-hmm, possibly foregoing the Hummer or the limousine, yep, and catching a tram or public transport or an Uber to your wedding, that sort of thing. And certainly not feeling the pressure to dress in a traditional way. So a lot of lesbian brides have called themselves a bride and still want the white wedding dress, and we completely respect that. Mm. But others have, foregone that and dress very casually. And the word I often use around same-sex weddings is authenticity. You need something that's authentic, that's going to reflect not only you, but how you live your lives on a daily basis, rather than the gender-defined roles that a traditional marriage kind of denotes.